I want to ride my
Hundreds of riders are gearing up for Tour Detroit's annual Martin Luther King bike ride on Monday. Now, it goes past several historic spots from King's Freedom March in Detroit. And here to talk about the upcoming event is the director of Tour Detroit, Victoria Katansky. Thank you so much, Victoria, for joining us. And Tatiana Pastor, the general manager of Wheelhouse Detroit. Thank you so much, Tatiana, for joining us. So, Victoria, tell us a little bit about the ride and why ride in honor of Martin Luther King.
Well, we wanted to do something for several years in the city of Detroit, and Martin Luther King gave his first I Have a Dream speech in Detroit. So we decided to do a route that kind of mirrors it as much as possible, the route that he took from down to Cobo to give the speech.
Are there stops along the way, or
we don't do stops because it's a little cold, so we want to be done. But we just pass by like Cobo Hall, and also key parts of the ride are where people, like some of the people that were there at the speech. So we go through Milliken State Park. We'll be going through the cemetery, past Coleman Young's grave, and just different things along the way.
So it weaves Martin Luther King's history with Detroit's history. Correct. As you move on throughout the ride. Now, you mentioned it could be a little cold. It's January, so you would expect there to be a little chill in the air. You guys have laid out some really impressive pieces here to help, I guess, folks prepare. And although we're talking about the King Ride, these are things that would be important for bicyclists all year round. Yes. Tatiana, tell us a little bit about some of what you guys have here to help people stay warm.
All right, so when you're riding in the winter, you always want to layer. Mm-hmm. So obviously the most important thing would be gloves. And at Wheelhouse Detroit, we focus on a lot of American-made products. So these are actually Michigan-made. Okay. So they're mittens, you can fold them down.
Get your fingers out there if you need to. Now, those look pretty thin. So is that the final mitten, or is that like an insert that would go into another mitten or glove?
That's a great question. So for Monday's ride, I would definitely recommend using it as an insert. So then you would want to layer with something more windproof like these.
Now, those are pretty cool. I mean, we were looking at those. It doesn't have all the fingers. It's a glove and kind of a mitten, sort of like half and half.
Yeah, so basically having your fingers together actually keeps you warmer.
Okay, so it keeps the final two fingers together. Is that all you would need, in terms of riding? That doesn't limit you in any way?
No, not at all. You can still get to your brake levers, change gears with them. They're really great. They actually might make your hands sweat.
Okay, so. And that's what we would like. And also I see some bar mitts here to help keep your hands warm. It's all about, as you mentioned, layering and being prepared.
Yeah, so these are designed to go right on the handlebars of the bike. So instead, like if you just want to wear like a thin glove, you can stick your hands right in there. And you can still, like I said, reach your brake levers, shift your bike, all that fun stuff.
And goggles to help protect your eyes because,
yes,
if you're a good cyclist, you pick up some speed and that wind coming at you, you'll want to protect your skin.
It's amazing what a difference covering your eyes can make. You won't be crying all over your baklava.
Right.
So.
All right. Victoria, so tell us a little bit about the ride. How many people do you expect to attend? And if someone is at home going, something, that sounds like a great way to spend a little time and honor Martin Luther King, I'd like to take part. I mean, how many people do you expect to come down, and where can people still sign up?
So we have currently about 350 people that are registered. Which is a nice amount for this ride. And it's a really unique ride, which we love. It's winter. How many times do you get to ride with 350 people in the winter? But they can also register the day of. We open registration at 9 o'clock and right on site at McGregor Hall at Wayne State University. And then we leave from there at 10 o'clock.
All right. And how long is the ride?
Currently, it's a 12-mile route. I mentioned we might shy it a little bit depending on the weather, but it'll be between 10 and 12 miles. Between
10 and 12 miles. But if you check out Tatiana and you have all this gear, you'll get your 12 miles done and you'll just be like, what? We're stopping already? Because as Tatiana mentioned, it's all about being prepared, and you can catch Tatiana and some of this gear at Wheelhouse Detroit. Tatiana, thank you so much for joining us. Victoria, thank you so much for joining us. Always great to see you. And again, certainly sign up for the ride. Now, I'm going to